Waiting for at least one person to show. Oh, there's one person. Just making sure I have it set up right. Hi. Sorry, I'm running a little bit late. I got a little behind schedule. Annette Dion here. Live from Gloucester, Massachusetts. It's Friday night. That just kind of occurred to me. I could call it Friday Night Live. I hope you're all doing great. Because I have this kind of rigged up here, having a little trouble seeing your comments, and I want to answer questions tonight that have to do with our country, the world, and you know, like whatever's on your mind. I'm going to go through some news items and we're going to do readings on those, but I also want to know what's on your mind, as long as it's positive. So let me see if I can see. Hi. So today was kind of a crazy day on the national front here in the United States, and a bridge collapsed in Philadelphia. So we're going to look at whether that was like, I don't know, the other side making a point. Because that was so synchronistic, because Joe Biden was going there. I think it was Philadelphia, right? And Joe Biden was going there to talk about infrastructure, and lo and behold, the infrastructure disaster happened. Thank goodness nobody got killed when that bridge collapsed. So yeah, that was a big case. Pittsburgh, okay, thanks. I had a busy day and I didn't really see exactly everything that happened. So Pittsburgh, thank you for correcting me on that. So we're gonna look at some cards about that. Like, what's the deal? How did that occur? I mean, we know how it occurred structurally, but what was going on? Were the guides kind of in on that? We're going to look at 3 cards, and what will the consequences be of that? Like how, like, are people going to rally for the Build Back Better because that bridge collapsed? Because clearly we need that. Are they going to rally for that? Is it going to get like a stronger case be made from that happening? Once again, thank goodness that nobody got hurt. That's amazing. Let's see. Okay, well, it looks like the Chariot means that it will rush the infrastructure bill. I know that passed, but it will help the Build Back Better bill to be built. And we're going to check the pendulum on that. We're going to see, is the Build Back Better going to pass partially because this happened and it made a bigger case for it. And the pendulum is saying yes. That makes a pretty big case for needing, you know, bridges repaired and, you know, infrastructure. So the Hierophant, yes, there will be very definite plans made to fix the bridges. This is going to put bridges top of the list in terms of what we're going to work on for infrastructure, definitely. But the guides are also saying a missed opportunity here. So I don't know if Joe Biden didn't sort of ride the wave of what happened and make his case stronger, or if it just didn't get enough attention. But I'm seeing there's kind of a missed opportunity with this, and hopefully they're going to pick it back up and make their cases, you know, bigger for Build Back Better. Better and bigger. Does anybody have a question that they want to ask? If I don't see a question right now, I will, John Bolton must be talking FBI carry bags from his home. See, I missed that today. The electors, the fake electors, are in trouble. Texas governor letting people get... Is John Bolton a friend or a foe? He's kind of both. The electors, the fake electors, we're going to look at that briefly. I think 12 of them have been subpoenaed. I have this feeling the January 6th Commission has had enough. They are fed up. They've added up to here. So let's see what's going on with that. The electors, the 12 electors that have been subpoenaed. I'm going to ask the pendulum first. Are those electors going to show up? They have been subpoenaed. That's pretty serious. Are they going to show up? They're going to show up. John Bolton is for John Bolton. I feel like John Bolton, he flips sides. It's interesting. John Bolton feels like he flips sides according to how much risk he's taking. Maybe we all do that. But he flips sides according to how much risk he's taking. I feel like it's kind of dark here. And right now I'm feeling like John Bolton is in trouble. So I haven't seen what's going on there. I will check the news and see, but I feel like sometimes it's good for me not to know specifics about what's going on. I feel like they've uncovered something about John Bolton that's going to get him in some pretty deep water. So let's take a look at that. I'm going to bring you a little closer so I can maybe see your questions better. Because I don't want to put my glasses on because there'll be too much glare. So is John Bolton, is he in hot water? I never did read his book. Did anybody read his book? The new, I did hear about a variant. I've been telling you guys for a while there's going to be a new variant, and there it is. So, hey. This is John Bolton, the Tower card. He's, John Bolton has really isolated himself. Was the bridge that collapsed planned? Is that what you asked? John Bolton is kind of on his own. Nobody's going to stand with him. I feel like nobody's going to stand with John Bolton. He's going to have to defend himself by himself. I mean, he'll probably get lawyers and all that, but he's going to have to defend himself by himself, John Bolton, because nobody's going to be on his team. So there's that. Giselle, everything is a cover to hide his intention. Makes sense. So the electors are going to be in trouble. And let me take a look at Matt Gaetz. Let's find out what's going on with Mr. Gaetz. Money has kept Matt Gaetz where he still is. I heard he was on the Judiciary Committee. Did anybody else hear that? Did anybody else hear that he's on the Judiciary Committee? It's really amazing. Will she win her lawsuit against the New York Times? We will look at that too. Let's look at Matt Gaetz first. Money has kept Matt Gaetz out of prison. Next time I'm going to get Matt to field the questions. That's what Corey at Bridge KPN does. All right, so is Money going to keep Matt Gaetz out of jail much longer? Well, this looks like an imprisonment. This looks like Matt Gaetz is faking that he's all good and all okay, but, you know, they don't look very happy. They look kind of, you know, this is kind of, he's been ratted out and he's going down and not, and this is like a stained glass window, which indicates kind of like spiritual matters, but they're looking down. They're not looking up. He definitely does not look up to spiritual things. So everyone, I think that he's going to jail. I've been saying Matt Gaetz is going to jail for a long time, and this is, he's trying to he's trying to row away from all the difficulty and all the swords, and he's trying to pick up the pieces. This actually looks like with Matt Gaetz, they had all this stuff already, and they're sort of revisiting it and intensifying their case. They're getting more like credibility and more information. This is more information about him. So let's ask the pendulum again. I did ask about this a little while ago, and I felt like he was going to go to jail. I think I said March. Oh no, it might have been May. It was an M month. Is Matt Gaetz going to jail? Whoa, he's going to jail. That's a pretty big crime. Sex trafficking, hello, is a pretty big crime. Ghislaine Maxwell's going to prison for life. And, you know, in some states, in some places, it would probably be life plus. Which is always crazy when they say, you're going to prison for, you know, 100 years plus 100 years. It's like, wait a minute, that's another lifetime. Pictures of Matt DeSantis and Greenland. And also, I do feel DeSantis knew everything that Matt Gaetz was doing, and his buddy, the guy, the tax lawyer guy, or what? He wasn't a tax lawyer, but he worked in the tax department. The one that was a Greenberg, and he got in trouble, and he's ratted out on Matt Gaetz. But not only him, also Matt Gaetz' like ex-girlfriend ratted him out too. So he's in, speaking of hot water, like John Bolton is in hot water, so is Matt Gaetz. So, you're really worried about the snowstorm? You! I am looking at the map today and I'm like, oh my gosh, we're getting a direct hit here in Cape Ann, Massachusetts. Taking a snow day tomorrow. No readings tomorrow, no nothing. No nothing. Okay. Just, I don't know. The power's going to go out, I'm sure of it. It's not looking good, people. So pray for especially pray for the people who don't have the means to get through this storm. I'll be okay. I have people around me. The people that are shut-ins, that it's really hard for me to think about. The people that don't know to reach out for help. The people that just aren't aware. So we will look at that too. Do I have a who? Yes, we have a fireplace. I sort of live communally, so we have a fireplace, which I recommend to everybody, actually. You have to know good people for that to work. Your girlfriend is in Manchester by the Sea. Oh, did she see the movie? Good question. I think I skipped something. I think I spaced out something I was going to read on, but I'll go back to it. I've been thinking about those Irish fishermen a lot. Hats off to them. I mean, if you watch Rachel Maddow, she was talking about the situation now. I guess the Irish fishermen had a conversation with bringing firewood. The fishermen had a conversation, the Irish fishermen, with Russia, with some of the Russia diplomats or military, and they said, it's okay, we won't do anything. And then later found out that they were just kind of kidding. So check on your neighbors for sure. That's what I was going to say. During the live, I jump around. I just want you to know, but I'm doing my best to keep track of where we are. Matt Gaetz, DeSantis, and Jim Jordan. Watch this space. Meanwhile, back in Ireland, I do see a bit of a scuffle. The snow's on the way to Scotland? Huh, interesting. I do see a little scuffle. And we need to pray for those fishermen, because here's the thing. I could see, and this is not a psychic impression, this is a concern. I could see where a little bit of a scuffle could escalate in the Irish Sea there. I don't know if it's called the Irish Sea, but maybe I'll take out my globe. Should I get the globe? Should I get out my globe and see if it's the Irish Sea? I can't resist now. Hang on. All right. This thing is coming in handy. I know I'm going a little nuts with it, but I'm going to look at Ireland, and to see if the waters are, well, obviously it's the Atlantic. I just wondered if it was called the sea there. Well, they're in the Atlantic. Pray for the fishermen. I wasn't sure. You know, my thing with Corey yesterday, if you didn't see it, go to Bridge Cape Ann or go to my community page. I posted the video, but we had fun. He told me where he was going on vacation, and there it was. And so the Irish fishermen, I can see, they're not even close to Russia. I don't know why Russia's doing war games there. I just wondered if they called it the Irish Sea. We're picking cards about the Irish fishermen. All right, I'm going to wear my glasses if they don't glare too much and if they're not too crooked. Since I changed the lighting because of the noise, I might be able to wear these, and then I can see. Okay, so praying for them. All right, so I see, see, the thing about it is that I feel like the world is gonna, you know, if there is a scuffle, it could escalate. And I do see a scuffle. Is there gonna be a scuffle? Yeah, because you know what? Fishermen have no fear, and Russia has cut the cables. So we're going to pray for them. We're going to pray like crazy for the Irish fishermen. I see them, you know, really being strong, really standing strong, really being an inspiration to the rest of the world. But they do have a burden. The fishermen have a burden. And I see that their wives and their families, a large, flat, pull-down map. That's a great idea. Yeah, they won their fight, and you say Russia has backed down, but then later Russia said they didn't back down. So there you go. We can't trust Vladimir Putin. We must not. I don't like the glasses because they make me look like Kirsten Sinema. Do they? If I look like Kirsten Sinema, I'm not wearing these. So, the Emperor, this is gonna get some world attention. I don't. I hope not. This is gonna get some world attention. See, behind him is the map. I think I pulled this card about it before. And the King of Swords. Oh gosh, this is weird. This is weird. Because the King of Swords is like, yes, they do have the power. The fishermen have the power. The fishermen will, what they're doing is going to gain a lot of support from the rest of the world. And I feel like there's going to be something that happens there. Let me ask the guides. It's going to, they're saying they're saying make a statement. What's happening with the Irish fishermen is it's going to make a statement to the world. And you know what I feel like the statement is with these fishermen standing up to the Russians? It's going to make a statement about normal, regular people needing to stand up and be strong and be courageous. Mary Trump? I don't think I look like Mary Trump. It's a compliment because she's so intelligent. As long as I don't look like Kirsten. So the Irish fisherman it's kind of like, let that be a lesson to you all. You know, like you all need to stand up and fight. You're sweet. The only reason that I don't want to wear, that I have them on and I don't want to wear them, I don't really like wearing glasses. They're just readers. Well, Mary's smart. But I only have them on because I need to see your comments in case you have questions. So the Irish fisherman, that thing's not going to go away quickly. I need to see. I've heard Carolyn Kennedy before. I need to see your comments. That's why they're on. There's going to be something significant that happens with them in Russia. It's going to escalate something. Okay, what else are we looking at? Okay, questions. What else are we looking at? I asked Corey if he was available tonight so he could jump on and say hey. Thank you, you're sweet. And Corey's busy. Get this, Corey is busy tonight. He's working on a documentary about the blizzard of 1978, which I think that this storm is going to be as big or worse than there was a blizzard in 1978 that took, I mean, when you live on an island and you're on the Atlantic or the Pacific and the big storms come in, they take entire homes into the ocean. So that's what we're looking at. So actually, Zelensky, I think they're just used to the Russians. Why Zelensky isn't alarmed? I think he's just hiding his alarm. So I think that this storm is going to be worse than the blizzard of 78, which happened here, and it was incredible. It took down entire homes. The waves did. So Corey's working on a documentary about that, which is why he can't really pop in. But maybe next time. Maybe next week. Yeah, it hit all of New England, and it was, this is going to be as intense. It was intense. It was absolutely made you leave Boston to move to California. Yes, we can look at Stacey Abrams. This is a good time to mention Grassroots of Democracy. We had a great meeting last night, and we are going to delve into the Stacey Abrams playbook. We're putting a lot of things into motion, so you should really join us. How will he be for New York? Okay. Let's first go to Stacey Abrams, and then we'll go to Eric and Adams in New York. I heard about that strange artwork in Denver. Okay, Stacey Abrams. It looks like Stacey Abrams has the support of some strong Democratic leaders, and that's going to help a lot. We talked about that yesterday's show about the energy of the collective. Yes, the Coast Guard boat. Yeah, in the blizzard of 78, there was a boat off the coast of Gloucester. There was a boat in distress, and then off the coast of Gloucester, there was a fishing boat called the Can Do, and I guess these fishermen, like I'm telling you, fishermen have no fear. They were all like, they were hanging around, and they were like, oh, they found out there was a boat in distress. So these fishermen in a boat called the Can Do went out into the blizzard of 78, and they all perished. So if you come to Gloucester, Massachusetts, there's a memorial that has the names of all the men that were lost at sea. It was all men, because there weren't many fisherwomen, just like a handful throughout history later on. But the Can Do, all hands on deck, all hands lost at sea. So yeah, it can be bad. And back in those days, in 78, they didn't have like all these fancy contraptions to track the weather. So they really didn't know what they were going into. And the blizzard of 78 caught so many people off guard, because we didn't have the weather systems that we have now. I mean, we really do have to appreciate how much we can track the weather, and it's for the most part it's quite accurate. That's why when I see a direct hit to where we live, it's a little scary, and they're calling it a cyclobomb. Why don't we look at some cards about that right now, about the storm? How are we going to fare in the storm? Because I know a lot of you are out there. I'll talk a little bit more about Grassroots of Democracy too, about what we're doing. Okay? Just so you know, I'm getting used to this live thing, so please bear with me and be patient. I'm keeping some questions in my head as I'm reading. It's like juggling, and I don't know how to juggle. Yeah, thank you. You're so sweet. I adore you guys. Okay, so this is the storm that's coming. We can't be foolish. That's the guides are here. Here we have it. If you're in the track of the storm like we are, don't be foolish. If you have like a battery pack thing, you know how I have one that's plugged in right now charging up. If you have one of those things that's a portable battery charger, make sure it's completely charged. We're all going to lose power. So, I mean, they're talking about wind gusts up to 70 miles an hour all day tomorrow. So yeah, This is saying we have to not be foolish. Thank you. And yikes. We're going to have to make a plan to rebuild, and the communication that we have is going to be very, 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 very extremely important for this storm. So I'm concerned, but I'm not scared, because fear doesn't do anything good for you. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. But just be prepared. It's going to be rough. A lot of damage. I see a lot of damage. In fact, I saw the guides showed me, you know, when the power goes out and it's been out for a long time and you're just sort of walking around in the dark, and when the electricity goes out, everything's like really quiet. Remember people were complaining about the buzz? And then I changed everything. I changed my lighting and everything. There was that high-pitched noise, and it was really bothering some people. I had to go through a lot of convolutions to get this set up right. I think it's working. Putin is scheduled to go to the Winter Olympics. I did see that. So anyway, I had a vision of, you know, that being the case when everything just goes dead quiet when the electricity goes out. You don't realize how much noise, you know, things that are plugged into electricity are making until it all goes down. So we'll look at Sarah Palin. What an arrogant you-know-what she is. Jeez. Sarah Palin was the first. Sarah Palin was the first, oh my God. I mean, in my mind, don't you think Sarah Palin was the first to just be like so outrageously inappropriate? I think John McCain at the time was, I don't know why he chose Sarah Palin as a running mate. I think Obama was supposed to win. But I think John McCain was horrified by Sarah Palin, and I don't really know why he chose her as a running mate, because that was crazy. I think he totally regretted it. And I feel like John McCain knew that he deserved to lose. He felt, felt that he had deserved to lose because of that bad decision. Gaetz is on the committee. He's on the Judiciary Committee. Talk about Republicans having no scruples. Don't even get me started. Seriously, don't even get me started. So we're going to look at Sarah Palin. I mean, she's a narcissist. She was so embarrassing when she was John McCain's running mate. And I think he kind of like cowered sometimes, like, you know, apologetically. I saw that. Seems like a long, long time ago. But she was the first Trump. I absolutely agree. Sarah Palin was the first Trump. All about the guns and making fun of Obama. And, you know, that she was the first one to start making fun of people. So let's look at what's going to happen with her. He suggested Palin to McCain. Oh, yeah. And you know what? There's another person in government. I don't know who it is. I just remember seeing who had sort of like endorsed Josh Hawley, and then after January 6th, actually a little bit before that, he was mortified that he had supported that. Everyone just needs to be psychic. We all need to develop our psychic skills so we don't bring these people in to our, you know, environment, our, you know, like surroundings. Sarah Palin. She opened the door for them. That was the time of the Tea Party and all that stuff. So, I mean, it's only gotten worse. And we are going to talk about Trump's rally tomorrow. I'm reading on Sarah Palin, but I just want to say, I'm going to take this opportunity to say, tomorrow night, there's a rally in Texas. The guides today told me, and I think you're going to agree with me, that we need to start calling those rallies fascist rallies. Because if you watch Trump's rallies, and I bet you don't, I do, just to tap into what's going on psychically. I feel like it's my job. I probably won't be able to watch it tomorrow night unless we have electricity, which I doubt. I could watch it on my phone, though. The rally in Texas tomorrow night, just FYI, the fascist Trump rally, I refuse to not call it that. Greg Abbott's going to be there. the insults and the violent inciting conversation and the lies and he's going to incriminate himself again and again and again are going to be over the top. So if everybody can, tomorrow night when that rally's going on, just focus on what's going on and just flood it with light for the highest good of all, for a big change to take place. That's all. Light never hurt anybody. Okay? 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 I don't think it's bravery. I don't think it's courage. I think, you know, like the other day I mentioned that Don't Look Up, that movie that's on Netflix with all the stars in it about people being in denial of science and how the comet's going to hit the planet, and I think it was a comet or an asteroid. And you know, they're ignoring the science and everything, and I was like, it's too hard to watch. It's too hard to watch. I do want to watch the whole thing. It was hard. It's hard to watch because it's a satire, but it's true to life. And it's devastating to see, you know, to just relate. Yeah, you know, these scientists that have devoted their entire lives to science, that are gifted geniuses, are being pummeled and just, you know, bullied in the worst ways and all over social media with all these lies and everything. That's what was hard about that movie. So someone was like, well, why do you watch it? And it's like, because I need to watch things like that. I need to be in the know, even though it's a, you know, it's a satire and it's kind of fiction. I mean, it's kind of true to life. Anyway, Sarah Palin. I don't think Sarah Palin's going to win that case. I don't even know. Does anybody know the fake presidential rallies? They are fascist rallies. That's why I had to watch it last time, and it was long, that Arizona rally, but I've watched almost all of them because I need to be here to tell you what's going on, because I know how hard they are to watch. We gotta, you know, we gotta grow, you know, like really Teflon energies to get through. This is why people say, I just can't watch the news. Well, if we continue to just not watch the news, we're in deep trouble. So this is Sarah Palin. Can somebody tell me what she's suing the New York Times for? Because I don't know. Oh, believe me, it makes me sick to my stomach to listen to him. I'm not sure. It's Texas time, and our buddy Governor Abbott's going to be there, and he's going to be spewing lies and saying women shouldn't have any rights. And yeah, it's going to be horrible. Just watch it and send... Oh, defamation? What did they say about her? I don't know what libel means, actually. I know, but just be aware that it's bad and join Grassroots of Democracy. And at least, even if you don't watch it, you can do your part. He needs to swim with the fish. Do your part. Even if, you know, you can join Grassroots of Democracy. Grassrootsofdemocracy@gmail.com. Just send an email and just write AYE in the subject line. That's how they vote in Congress. Dr. Fauci is awesome. Responsible. For slander? I'm guessing slander. Anyway, it doesn't look like she'll win. It kind of looks like, to me, like a truce or a stalemate. Like maybe they'll have to pay her a little something, but I don't feel like it's I feel like they're gonna like come to some kind of an agreement or something. But she's not gonna get what she wants. She's not gonna get what she wants. So there's that. That's what the guides are saying. Sarah Palin is not gonna get what she wants. And you know, I will look it up. I'll look up that story. You don't have to watch the rally, but how about this? We make a deal. If you don't watch the rally, you join Grassroots of Democracy instead. Grassrootsofdemocracy@gmail.com. We have a pretty good group, and we're having speakers, and we meet every single Thursday night, 7 to 8 Eastern. They apologized. Okay. Yeah, I don't really think she's gonna win much. I seek a settlement. Hang on. 3 cards just went flying. I wonder what these are the answer to. What question they're answering. America needs to work on our sense of community. That did come up at the meeting. That did come up at the meeting. We have to work within our communities to change people's minds. Like if you, I know we're in COVID still, and there is another variant coming. We'll get into that. I mentioned before, there's a house that I walk by when I walk a particular route when I walk daily. Tomorrow I won't be walking. I don't think so. But anyway, because it's going to be blowing a gale. There's just no way. It's going to be a blizzard. But anyway, I walked by this house and it had a sign that said Trump 2020. And the house across the street had Biden and Harris. And the house across the street said Black Lives Matter. And then they hung another Trump thing. Something about promises made, promises kept. And then the other house, I don't know, another Black Lives Matter. You know, all this stuff going on. There's like a battle between both sides of the street, like where I live. So I'm walking by this house every day. And I'm so tempted to knock on the door and to just say, I'm just curious why you support Trump. Like, in terms of like, what has Trump done? And like, I would like to have those kinds of conversations just to hear somebody out. If you do it tactfully, you can talk to people. You can talk to people, and they're just misinformed. And I've mentioned before, Russia is into psychological warfare. Yes, David Pacman will stream the rally, the fascist rally, live. Oh, thanks. You can give thumbs up. That'd be great. So if we work in our communities, no wars with Trump? Yeah, well, you know, he would have started a war. He would have said to Russia, just go ahead, started a world war. No, that, I understand what you're saying. You can't convince him otherwise. I have to just address that. You don't have to be invested in convincing them. Just listen. Just listen. I mean, you don't have to be like, I'm going to change this Trump supporter, because you have to understand this is years of programming. And if you understand what cult mind control is, you'll understand why they are thinking the way that they are, because it's a lot of that. We're having a war in this country, and for entertainment purposes only, as I always say, as you know. We're having a full-on war in this country, and it was incited by Russia. Because Russia is probably the most knowledgeable and well-equipped country for psychological warfare. When I say psychological warfare, the Gaetz gave me this download a long time ago. That on the internet, on social media, they were infiltrating, you know, the algorithms, or they were doing something. I'm not a computer geek, so I don't know exactly how they did it. But the way that I saw it was there was like coded information, and like QAnon and, you know, all the Trump sites and everything. There was coded information. I called it subliminal seduction. So I really want people to understand this. It's like subliminal seduction, and it gets in. And having known somebody that was in a cult, and that's why I know so much about cults, they get in there, they get you where they know you are emotionally. It's a cult. And they drop all their ethics and all their morals and all their family, and they become different human beings. I don't mean to be talking us versus them. I've counseled people who have had like a spouse completely turn on them, and that's what happens in a cult. We have to be clear. We have to come to a place of forgive them, for they know not what they do. They are innocent. They have been programmed with a mind control tactic that Vladimir Putin started with his awareness of psychological warfare. They're brilliant at it. And his motto is divide and conquer. So then he wrote on Trump because he knew, Trump has the makeup of a dictator. That's why I'm calling it fascist rallies. And Putin created, in a very, underhanded way, he created divisiveness. He contributed to what was already there and blew it up exponentially to be worse, with the ultimate goal being to divide us, to divide the United States. Am I preaching? I have a church. Can I get a witness? To divide the United States. So he's getting his goal, and he's still getting his goal. He promised them a wall. And so they don't see the people that have been hypnotized, that you watch, that go to these rallies. They feel like they're in a group. Now they're like, it's like the Grateful Dead, and in a negative way. The Grateful Dead, they had their dead heads. They traveled everywhere. They followed each other. They became all friends. For life. It's like, so they join together in these rallies, these fascist rallies, and they're like, rah, 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 and they become one energy. Yeah, I understand. I hear it all the time. You've lost friends and family. We have to come to a place of understanding. They're under mind control, like Scientology. And if you want to read more about it, Steve Hassan, Hasson, I knew of his book, Combating Cult Mind Control, because I studied about cults, because I had a family member in a cult. So seriously, he has a book called Combating Cult Mind Control, and he has a book called The Cult of Trump. And I want everybody, I see there's a whole bunch of you on. I'm so glad you're here. Did I say that? Thank you for being here. So, no, that war in the Middle East, he did not stop the war in the Middle East. I don't know what you're talking about, Spanky. Please read. Russia has been doing mind control for years. So we have to understand that these people are not in their right thinking mind. I would like to see a Democrat get out there and do rallies. Thank you for appreciating me. I don't have moderators. I send love and light to people that are, send love and light if people become hateful. He abandoned our allies. Yeah, and just, I thank God every day that he's not in office, especially, just in general, of course, but especially now, because he didn't know what was going on in the world politics stage. He had no idea. Send Spanky love and light. Love and light. Love and light. Love and light. Love and light to all the trolls. That's what we're about. That's what we're about. Okay. So these people, they're under cult mind control. So I'd like to see a Democrat. Wouldn't it be awesome if, I know it's risky, but if the president of the United States, if Joe Biden could be inaugurated on January 20th, and let me tell you, be nice. Let me tell you, on January 20th, I literally was saying rosaries. I had people praying with me on January 20th, and what's that Rhodes guy? Was he an Oath Keeper or Proud Boys? The Rhodes guy that is arrested and is going to be jailed. Oh, Ireland, how are the fishermen doing? On January 20th of 2021, and the inauguration, there were plans for violence. Remember how many National Guard were there? The military was all over the White House. Thank your lucky stars that nothing bad happened then. That was just a really, really scary time. If Trump was in office right now, we would be heading for World War III. And we cannot have World War III because I was pretty active in the no nukes movement too, by the way. Of course I was. World War III, the next World War will decimate the entire planet. If you, thank you. The love and light must have worked. I mean, we're the next war. I mean, there's enough nuclear arsenal on this planet to blow up the freaking universe. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Palin wants to be in the news. I totally agree with that. Trump would have pushed the button. Remember when Pelosi was so scared that he had the nuclear codes? And I think they made sure. I did read that. I think they made sure that he didn't have the codes because he was that unstable. And so many people were so scared that he was going to push the buttons. The President of the United States needs to not have all that power. And for that matter, governors of states need to not have that much power. We need a system of checks and balances. We love you, Sparky, Spanky, whatever you are, whoever you are. Read, educate yourself. Pray for this country to be educated. It's really important. Somebody at our meeting last night, we had Holly from Tennessee speaking, and she did mention that the rural areas that are now not all white, Spanky needs to go. I know, but I'm not worried about it because 99.9% of you are wonderful, so I'm not going to worry about it. Because we send light and love to the trolls. That's why. That's why. That's why. Because they need to get it from somewhere. Thank you for blocking her. I mean, I'm not worried about it. Because people that are trolling just need light and love. They do. They do. Scientology in the future, I think it's going to shrink. I do. I think that's... Putin had this in his bucket list. I think, we need people to be educated. And you know, I'm sorry. If it's bothering you, I'll see what I can do. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for one, but for everyone. Let's sing it. Okay. I'm reading cards for something. I forgot what it was. I forgot what it was. You know, it does help. Well, you can love. It doesn't hurt. Love doesn't hurt. Love is always the answer. You saw my mug, right? Hang on. Love is always the answer. There you go. It's, you know, and it's not wimpy. Love is the most powerful force in the entire world. Anyway, where was I? Let there be peace on earth. I'm not going to sing on my video, but tune in on Sunday for Church of Spirituality, which might have a snow delay. I'll post it if it's going to be a snow delay. I probably should just post that it's going to be at 5 instead of 1. If you're trying to get a reading, please send an email to AnnetteDionPsychic@gmail.com. And if you've already sent one, just send another one. I'm thankfully pretty booked. Thankfully. Thanks to Linda G. I've been doing readings for 28 years. And in the entire universe, love is the most powerful force in the entire universe. Anyway, so when I had my platform, I was kind of frustrated that I wasn't fully booked, but now I am. So, there. I am a life coach. I'm a spiritual life coach. And you just, if you want to have spiritual life coaching, you have to want to kick butt. But Spanky is very distracting. That's all right. We have to ignore things nowadays, you know what I mean? We have to really be selective. It's like, okay, I don't want to listen to that person, but I want to listen to this person. Kind of like that. Yes, it's love is the most powerful force. Love is not wimpy. And whenever I'm really upset by what all these, you know, Republicans are doing, that are the things that they're doing that are so anti-American, we have to understand we are in a war against democracy. And the other thing I want people to understand is the whole world is going to be affected by our actions or inaction. The whole world, because the United States of America has stood as a beacon of hope and possibility of a government that has human rights, our right to speak, our right to express, our right to be us. It's the one country that has managed to maintain this form of government for 240 something years. Oh, I do want to see Thich Nhat Hanh's funeral, and I did see that. I may be talking about that on Sunday. Things are rocky right now because they are changing. So I just want you to know that we can do this. I mean, because we have to show the rest of the world that we can unite. We have to show. If you're coming in late, it's okay, because this will post afterwards. We have to show the rest of the world that democracy can work. And believe me, I just want to, I know I'm preaching. Sorry, we'll get to questions in a second, more questions. We have to show the world that love can win and that democracy can survive, because we're on the brink of the entire world being autocracies and dictatorships with fascist leaders. We're on the precipice. We're on the precipice, and it's up to the United States of America to show the world that it's possible to exist on planet Earth as a democracy. If we fail, it will be gone. It will be gone. I know other countries are democracies, but we have been the most powerful. We're influential. Yeah, I know, that's true. I know, but we have been the most powerful. And I've been to other countries that are democratic, and there's a different vibe. It's not bad, but it's different. We're a little naive here, but we are dreamers too, you know? Oh, Australia. Welcome. Does Australia have a question? I feel like there's something going on in Australia that, okay, you can block Spanky. We are a republic. Benjamin Franklin said that. Will we stay powerful? Yes, if we choose to stay powerful. If we choose to stay powerful. And I was about to say, and of course I got distracted because I'm going live and I'm reading and talking and doing readings at the same time. So I'm doing my best. Well, we will succeed. But I want to tell you something about having started Grassroots of Democracy, which is not about me. It's about all of us. I just started it. I just got the ball rolling. If you're involved, there's a literal shift in your energy. And if you're sensitive, you can feel it. Or maybe you don't have to be sensitive to feel it. If you're doing something, it gives you energy. If you're doing something to save democracy, it's like the pressure cooker is on, and you let some steam escape. And we're meeting every week. We're meeting every single Thursday. It's only January. We have almost 11 full months. Well, 10 full months. You can be late. It's fine. You didn't have to be on time. It's not like school. Oh, Amy. Oh, put down your doubt. Amy, don't doubt. Hold the vision. Tomorrow night when the fascist rally is going on, we need to be sending light. We need to be sending light. Light's powerful. Late is cool. Yeah, late's fine. I just posted afterwards anyway. What time is it, you guys? Okay. Now, what else do we need to look at? We need to look at, yeah, I think the monarchy is going to fall. I think it's just going to kind of change form. Love and light will win. I was just talking about we have to hold the vision. Oh, thank you for asking. I said it earlier. I say it all the time. Just send an email to grassrootsofdemocracy@gmail.com and write AYE in the subject line, which is how they vote in Congress. They go, I And we're sending, just so you know, we're sending right now, this past week or so, we're still working on it. We have a list of Fox News advertisers, and we have a template letter just to make it easier. That's a good question. Will democracy grow in the world or decrease? So we have a list of the Fox News advertisers, a big long list, and we have a letter template to make it easier for you to send a letter. Just add a couple unique sentences to it, and you can send it to the list of advertisers. We're providing you with that. To schedule a reading, AnnetteDionPsychic@gmail.com. That goes right to my assistant, and he does the booking. His name is Matt, and he might be on right now. He might be hiding behind the scenes. Let's look at, will democracy survive? The whole world has gone crazy. Yeah, contact the Fox News advertisers. We have a list for you. And this week, our project is, it's kind of good I have a snow day tomorrow because I'm going to be working on this stuff. This week, our project is to get get letters out to the appropriate contact for the post office. So so Louis DeJoy is still, because I have a P.O. box, I daily encounter problems with the post office. And I know people have been saying that all the time, but the post office has been, for how little they charge for a stamp. Remember I showed you, the other night I showed you my dinosaur stamps? I'll show them to you again. How little you pay to send a letter, geez, across the world. The United States Post Office has done pretty well. My dad is a retired letter carrier. Anyway, as is Corey's. Scotty from marketing. Yeah, Lena does say that. So we're sending letters to the appropriate contact to complain about Louis DeJoy, who, Google it, he makes more money than Joe Biden. He makes more money than Joe Biden. Yes, and that's what you say in your letter. You say you're going to boycott the advertisers of Fox News. You boycott. You tell them you're not going to buy their products, and you're going to tell other people not to buy their products or use their services if they advertise on Fox News. So please send your email, grassrootsofdemocracy@gmail.com, and say I in the subject line, AYE, as if you're voting, because this is government by the people. Does anybody know what I was just reading on? Oh, democracy. If we can, if the world will have more democracy, if democracy will survive, we're going to go through some rough times. We already are in that. We're already in the rough times. Democracy is tested. We're just being tested. Russian interference and money in Texas politics. It's the name of the game. It's the name of the game. King of Pentacles. Yes, it looks like democracy will still be a very strong form of government in the world. I mean, the countries that have democracy. Even though I just got through saying we're at the precipice of America being the last frontier, basically. It's going through its trials. You just get on the email list if you want a list of who the advertisers are on Fox News. You send an email to grassrootsofdemocracy@gmail.com, and we'll get you that information. All right. So democracy is going through its challenges. This is a time that we have to rise up. I mean, because if you look at it's a multi-layered thing. If we lose our democracy, and other countries lose their democracies, say goodbye to any solutions for global climate change, which is the biggest thing going on right now. Say goodbye to all the things that have to do with us working together to save humanity, basically. If we don't have democracies, say goodbye to all the things that can be done to save our planet. It's that big. And if you have children and grandchildren, you must feel the fear of them growing up in under a dictator. And that fear is not to make you freak out and stay awake at night. That fear is to motivate you. Believe me, let me just tell you, when I watched that Arizona fascist Trump rally, the next day, you should have seen me typing those email addresses into Constant Contact for Grassroots of Democracy. I was like on fire. Seriously. Okay, so what's critical that I have to read on? I feel like I've left out so many things. Okay, so people are asking if the light is winning, if we're becoming more light. Thank you for all you volunteers that are volunteering to save democracy. So we have the Stacey Abrams playbook, and we're going to be putting that into action. Also, ask all your organizations that support democracy that are local. Ask them to write letters to Fox News advertisers. We can provide them that list. And if they're fighting for democracy in your local area, we have to work locally. Organizations that are fighting to save democracy, if you say, here's a list of Fox advertisers to send letters saying you're not going to support their services or products anymore, and tell everybody else not to. If you get them all to send the letters, it's going to make a difference. Because I just want you to know that you wouldn't believe how many people, it's the majority, wait for the next person to do it. And then it doesn't get done. And you will feel better, and you'll feel that you're making an impact. You'll feel that you're making an impact if you do it. It feels way better, I promise. So let's look at, because I want to answer the question about whether the light is winning. I have looked at this. We're in the throes of it, and it's going to take a while to, it's going to take a while. The guides are telling me in like a 5-year time span. And all these natural disasters that we're going to see are going to push us more towards a democratic system in terms of people really fighting for democracy. Because let's face it, the fascists don't care about the people. You think Kim Jong-un is taking care of the North Koreans? Think again. The light, yes, yeah, the love, this is the lover card. Love will save us. We just were talking about that. Love will save us. Love will save us. It's a great community. It's so true. It's so true. It's a great community. We need to walk away. We need to reject evil. Reject evil. Yeah, Russia's, speaking of evil, Russia's cutting the cables in under the ocean. If there's any time to be praying, it's now. PNN Virgin here. Speak about the level of narcissism and professional. That's kind of complicated about Meghan and Harry. I don't. If you shorten the question, I might be able to answer it. So love is the answer. This is it's love. Love will save us. Oh, thanks, Sheila. We have to, this is usually the card of hoarding, but this is really about cherishing what we have. Cherishing what we have. Yes, contact your county Democratic Party to enlist them in writing letters to Fox News advertisers. Love will win. We have a lot of work to do. Yeah, interesting. It's up to us. It's really up to us. We didn't incarnate to do nothing. If you don't watch news, just pray. Spanky. Is it Spanky? It's okay. If you don't watch news, it's all right. Try to get informed as best you can. And hi, Misty. Try to get informed as best as you can. And get involved with groups that are helping, that are working for the light. That's us. One more thing. Sorry if I mentioned something and then didn't come back around to it. It's hard to remember all the questions. The variant. There's another variant on the way. And I've been saying that for a long time. Just to recap, which I've been saying since March, April of 2020. At which time, you know, when the pandemic just started, at which time the guides told me there would be 1 million people dead in America before I got it under control. So, you guys are funny. I think Spanky's made some friends. It's okay, it's all good. So, I don't know what the new variant is called. Has anybody heard this? Yeah, we were given a lot and we need to start cherishing it. That's a good question. Before I go to the new... Oh, yeah. So thank you. You're so sweet. Grassrootsofdemocracy@gmail.com. By the way, the guides gave me that name for our organization, and I swear, I was on a walk, and they said Grassroots of Democracy, and I'm like, cool, that sounds kind of cool. I thought, should it be this, or should it be... No, Grassroots of Democracy, which I really love. And then I realized it spells G-O-D. I don't know what about Hong Kong taking pets. That's coming out of left field. Oh, yay! Yes, definitely join. We have great meetings every Thursday, 7 o'clock Eastern time. It's just an hour. And I make every effort to... Hi, Amanda! I make every effort... A familiar person. I mean, somebody that I know. I make every effort to end the meeting right on time. Thursday, 7 p.m., and you'll get a Zoom invite. Oh, by the way, about the Fox News advertisers thing, David Pakman, who's in the Boston area, has a huge YouTube channel. You probably have seen him. And every day or every other day, he does a video about politics. And he's the one that, Pakman, P-A-K-M-A-N, he live streams the fascist rallies. So if you're... No, Kim Jong-un is not even alive. He's a double. That's a double. So David Pakman shows the rallies live. So you can kind of comment while you're there. So I saw he had a video up today about how people that have been sponsoring OAN and Newsmax are dropping out. The cable companies. And I was like, and I posted it on my community page. I posted that video. Like, glory, hallelujah, it does work. Remember, January 6th, there were a bunch of big corporations. I don't have a list of them. I don't know who they were. I don't remember who they were. January 6th, that day, the day that people in the Trump administration just resigned on the spot, so did a lot of corporate sponsors of the Republican Party. Remember. Don't think the people don't have the power. In fact, I'm looking for a CD of Patti Smith's song, The People Have the Power. The reason I'm looking for a CD is because I can play it at the start of our meetings on Thursday night, and you know I can't have it on my phone and play it at the same time. People have the power. People have the power. People have the power. Well, Spanky said something nice. Spanky's getting a lot of attention. We are the majority. Government by the people. And God. Yeah, it spells God. I know, but it's not that big of a problem. I can't figure out how to do a moderator. It's only one person. So here's the thing. These evil people putting out all this evil, they have it coming to them. Yes, we're prepared. We're getting a direct hit. Stop drinking Pepsi? Are they Fox News advertisers? Is that why you're saying that? I'm sorry. That struck me really funny. Someone said Biden's a double. Biden's not a double. And, that's funny. I'm sorry. I got sidetracked. So where I live, I kind of live communally. We have what we need. We have a generator. We have a like gas stove that can be used in like a camping thing that can be used indoors. The battery, if you're in the storm zone, I hope you're not. It's going to be scary. If you're in the storm zone, make sure you have one of those things that you can charge your phone with, all plugged in and charged up and ready to go. We do thank our lucky stars Biden was elected, because boy, I shudder to think. But also, it gives me more faith that the angels are with us. Okay. So, the new variant. Did somebody post what it's called? I saw, so when COVID first started, the guide said that there would be 1 million Americans dead. I didn't believe it. I was like, no way. No way. You get that wrong. So, and then the guide said, because everyone was asking me, when's it going to be over? Like, they thought it would be over in 2 weeks. Yes, we thought it would be over in 2 weeks. Remember that? Do you remember when we thought the COVID would be over in 2 weeks? Is it the stealth variant? That sounds scary. That sounds like a military plane. They told me it wouldn't be over, like we wouldn't be done with it till January of 2024. Okay, BA decimal period 2. Oh, thank you for saying that I give you hope. That means so much to me. By the way, on my page, Church of Spirituality last week, the topic was a new breath. And I talked a lot about how to just calm down. So watch Church of Spirituality from last week. In God we trust. That's true. Maybe the founding fathers were whispering in my ear. Could be. So I do see more variants. I do see a total of 8 vaccines by the time we're kind of done with it. I do see that. So are they saying, see, here's a 9 of Swords. Yeah, it's going to be rough for some people. I have said all along the Delta variant is the worst, and we're past that. Yeah. So when we were on Omicron, I saw 4 more variants. Yeah, 2 weeks. Remember that? I remember. I'm on Main Street here, and my buddies own restaurants. I just know all the people on Main Street. So it was St. Patrick's Day, and they had just tapped the Guinness keg, and it was like, oh, just come have a Guinness. We're gonna have to close the restaurant and everything because COVID had just started, and we're sitting around, we're all having a Guinness, and we're going, it'd just be a couple weeks, just a couple weeks. Oh my goodness. Well, COVID made us count our blessings, I think. So the 3 of Pentacles, we'll work our way out of it, out of the variants. I said before that COVID is going to change the world. Yeah, remember when Trump said, oh, there's only 15 cases? It was really hard. It was really hard for me. It's hard for me to watch people lie. The nefarious liars. A little white lie that doesn't harm anybody is one thing, but lies that kill people, really bad. Oh, the one thing, good Lord, we're going on 1 hour and 20. Yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Do they have all these thoughts when it's not live? I don't know, but I'll tell you something. It's challenging to do readings and watch your comments. It made you drink more Guinness. Guinness has the lowest alcohol content, from what I heard, of most beers. I don't drink anymore, but anyway, it was funny. So, I'm gonna look at. I was gonna sign off, but there's a couple more things. So that was about the variant. Ron DeSantis. Is it snowing? It's not starting here till the wee hours of the morning, or like 7 a.m. Ron DeSantis, yeah, when Trump got up there and he was like, there's only 15 cases, it's just going to go away like a wave. Ron DeSantis is fake attorney general. Oh my gosh. What I'm going to do when I get snowed in is I'm going to work on our organization, Grassroots of Democracy. Definitely. So this fake Surgeon General that Ron DeSantis wants appointed officially, if you listen to that video of what he was saying to the committee that had to approve him, they're not going to approve him. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's snowing in New Jersey? Oh my goodness. That means it's coming up the coast faster. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome for me live streaming. The guy who's, he's not going to be, the Attorney General guy is going to, and not attorney, the Surgeon General in Florida, who's fake. He's going to be prosecuted. Interesting. Oh, it looks like the snow is starting. I better go home, huh? I think we're all good. We're a little further north. Queen of Pentacles. So the fake Surgeon General in Florida that Ron DeSantis wants to be, official, he's being read the Riot Act. What a fake. He couldn't even answer. Go home. I'm fine. It's not snowing here. Yeah, if it's not snowing in Rhode Island yet, we've got several hours. If you listen to that fake Surgeon General, oh my gosh, it'll make you crazy. It'll make you crazy. He's like, he won't answer the question, do you think vaccines are effective against COVID? He just won't answer the question. I mean, I don't care. But if he's the Surgeon General, projected or, he's in trouble. He's in legal trouble. They're not going to appoint him Surgeon General. That's for sure. Get Matthew to call you about Twitter. Oh, yeah, I will. I will. What a con. He was a bad con. Let's take a look at Satan, shall we, since we're still here? I'll go away shortly. I promise. Okay, we're going to go to Florida. How about this? How about we do Florida for a sec? The live thing is pretty new to me, by the way. We do Florida, and we do Texas, and then we say goodnight, and then I'll send you pictures of the snow tomorrow. Okay? DeSantis, is he going to really get... You have an inch in West Virginia already? Get in the muck? It's not easy. Yeah, they're lost. They're lost. We have to pray for the people that are in... the vaccines are working. Whether you believe in it or not, whether you are vaccinated or not, you cannot ignore the statistics. Okay? Namaste. Namaste. DeSantis. Legal trouble. Legal trouble. The data of the trials? What trials? What trials are you speaking of? Oh my God, you think it's bad here. It's Ontario's minus 35 wind chill. Oh my gosh, it's not fit for penguins. 10 of Swords. Ron DeSantis is in legal trouble. I see somebody taking Ron DeSantis's place. And I have said for a long time, that there's a female taking over. Nikki, yeah, and I didn't know about her, but months and months ago I said, I see DeSantis out and a woman in. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. He's a mini Trump. That's a total fascist move. Now, if we all educate ourselves about fascism and dictators, we will totally see Spanky, you're out of control. You're out of control. We sent you love and light. We do not love people that let people die. We don't love people that let people die. And the vaccine keeps people from the ICU and death. Okay, so spanking is bad. Val Demings, actually, so there's 2 women running against him when he's up for re-election. Yeah, don't listen to Spanky. Spanky doesn't really know what's going on, you know? I want to look at that because I saw a woman taking over as governor of Florida. I don't care about Spanky. I don't. This is probably the most attention Spanky's gotten in a long time. Yeah, I thought so. Running against Rubio. Okay, so senators, governors. Is Nikki going to win in Florida? Yeah, I get yes. Nikki Fried, is it? It's none of my business if people are vaccinated. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about the data is that if you're not vaccinated, you're more likely to be in the ICU if you get COVID. And you're more likely to die, actually. But I do get that the Delta variant is the worst one. Okay, so I'm just going to go into this topic briefly. Val Demings will be in a high position. We have to fight for our voting rights because, you know, the Republicans want to take away our vote. They want to, if a Democrat wins, they want to just throw it out. So we got a lot of work to do. I don't want to delve in here, but I'm going to out of curiosity. Yeah, so it's, you know, the vaccines do work, but it's none of my business if you're vaccinated. I don't take a stand on that here. I'm just talking about the data. And the Surgeon General, the proposed Surgeon General, con man in Florida is being called out because he wouldn't even say that vaccines are effective. Really? Just rub your neck like this. Just rub your neck. For Senate. Yeah, Senate. That's what I thought. Val Demings is running for Senate. We were talking about governor of Florida. We're looking at the rally. We're looking at the rally in Texas. The last time I did a reading, not live, the last one I did, we looked at the rally and we saw the tower card. We saw the tower card about the rally. I'd like to see a Democrat get out there and have rallies. Can we have that? Let's take a vote. I mean, I think we need a counter, don't you? To counter the fascist rallies. Who could be out there? Beto? Who could be out there doing Democratic rallies? Any ideas? The 8 men will be... I don't like the Maxwell case. It's so icky dark. And we have to look at these fascist rallies as, you know, it's people wanting fascism. You know, it's people wanting fascism. It's people against America in our own country. When Trump was in the White House, I used to just always think of that movie. I guess, you know, a friend of mine who owned a community cinema till it got closed down because of COVID. I'm like, what's the name of that movie? What's the name of that movie when the girl's in the house and she's babysitting and there's a killer and, you know, she calls the police and the police trace the phone and they say, they call her back and they say, the calls are coming from inside the house. Remember that movie? My friend told me it's called He Knows You're Alone. Anyway, I kept on thinking of that line when Trump was in the White House. No democracy for power and money. Yeah, we don't want to be an oligarchy. This is serious stuff. I heard there's a rally in Texas. I got an email from Beto O'Rourke, you know, one of those mass emails. And we will look at whether Beto's, and we were going to look at Stacey Abrams too. And then that's going to be it. I have to go have supper and batten down the hatches. What, not during COVID? How the rally's going to go? I actually think it's going to strengthen the Democrats. Bye, thanks for coming. Scream? No, it wasn't called Scream. It was called He Knows You're Alone. When the police called and they said the calls are coming from inside the house. I used to always think that about the White House when Trump was in the White House. Like the enemy is inside the house. The danger is inside the house. Okay, so, well, see, here's the thing about DeSantis. I know, this is going on too long. I have to go too. Good night, right? But here's the thing about DeSantis. He invested in that reserve or something, and then it doesn't work anymore for the new variant. And so now that he's freaking out. DeSantis is very unhappy right now for many, many reasons. He's very unhappy to begin with. So the rally, the fascist rally is actually going to make the Democrats stronger. So there it is. There you have it. I didn't expect to stay on for an hour and a half, but... Oh, Neil Young! I keep threatening to leave, but now somebody said Neil Young. I can't leave. Regeneron, thank you. Neil Young has been my hero my whole entire life. Neil Young is the epitome of cool, even at 70, 75. Why are you saying Scream? That's not the name of that movie, I don't think, unless another movie had that line. So, because because the reason that Neil Young is my hero, not only because he's written some amazing, amazing, amazing songs. Can I just tell you a secret? I used to live in Nashville. For 11 years, I lived in Nashville because I'm a singer-songwriter. And by a stroke of luck and synchronicities and things just lining up, the stars lined up or something, I got to record my album in the same studio that many, many, many famous people recorded in. I happened to just link up with the right people. And Neil Young had just finished recording, what was the name of the record? I'm in my psychic brain. I can see it. Anyway, he had just finished recording a record. It was when he had that aneurysm and he had that surgery, and then he did this record. He was completely straight. He wasn't stoned. And I got to work with Neil Young's mixing engineer. We all became really good friends, but I didn't get to meet Neil. I missed it because we were recording when we got a call that he was in town. He was like passing through Nashville on the way to Florida to do Farm Aid, and we missed the call because we were recording the last song in the studio before it closed. Masterlink Studio it was called. Anyway, Neil Young is my favorite. So the thing about Neil Young is he uses his art as his platform to change the world, to make a difference. So Harvest Moon, great record. Crazy. Okay. So kudos to him. Let's just ask how that's going to go as our last question. If I am on Spotify, just so you know. My music is on Spotify. And so today I was saying to somebody, Yeah, I hope other musicians follow suit. And then I thought, I should follow suit. And then I thought, I don't make any money. I have a record. It's called I Feel You. I'm a songwriter. I'm actually working on a new song now. So I was like, yeah. Well, I would take my music off of Spotify just to make a statement, but it wouldn't make any difference. Okay. Okay, yeah, Neil Young's stand against Spotify is gonna make a difference. It's gonna set a precedent for other artists, you know. And it's funny, I get the same vibe with Neil Young leaving Spotify, because they're supporting Joe Rogan, who's, you know, just lying all the time. It's gonna have an impact on the world. When a stranger calls, I think you're right. I think it was called that. The calls are coming from inside the house. Yeah, that might be right. The Three of Pentacles. So what Neil Young is doing is actually going to bear some fruit and make a difference. I see other musicians following suit, and I feel the same kind of energy that I get about the Irish fisherman, setting an example, leading the way. So there we have it. I've been with you way too long. I don't want to bore you to death. So thank you so much. If you're in the path of the storm, please be safe. Yeah, When a Stranger Calls. I thought that was the name of it. I think my friend was confused about the movie title. We're already... What did Barry Manilow do? Oh, he did? Oh, good for him. Oh, good news. I love that. They lost 50% of their revenue today. The dollar speaks. You start messing with their money, these big corporations. That's how the changes will happen. COVID aid like farm aid. That's funny. We're scheduled for a direct hit from this storm, so please pray for those in the path of the storm. And this was really fun. So I don't know if these will always be this long, but thank you. I really appreciate you guys too. Check the Children, great movie. No, I haven't heard of that movie. So we're gonna batten on the hatches, as we say, and good night and thank you. Send white light to Texas, to the fascist rally, that people wake up and the heat gets taken down. All right, love you all. Next Friday, we'll do Friday Night Live again. I don't know if it's going to be 90 minutes. This is sort of an anomaly. Bye. Thanks. I love you guys.